Hello, my friends. It has been a while since I made another review of a grimoire or an occult book. I really want to apologize for that, but there were so many other things that I was focusing on, mostly on the ritual magic. I was doing videos about demons and also live shows, but the thing is that before I start, and I will describe the new book that I have prepared for you to be reviewed, I would like to thank my donors or benefactors or patrons that really helped me to acquire new books. Namely, I would like to thank Sarah and Jason. Without your support, I would probably be not able to continue in this series, because many of you know that occult books are practically printed in very small amounts. These are special editions, and I always want to respect the author rights. So before I review the book, I would like to have it in a real copy, or at least in a digital copy that is legally acquired and bought from the authors. So thanks to Jason and Sarah, I was able to acquire more books that are going to be reviewed. And this is the first one, which is quite interesting, my friends, and I would like to really recommend this book. But let's go through the review. So what is this book about? This book is called Stellas Daemonum, or the Orders of the Demons. Stellas Daemonum is a Latin name. It means stars of the demons. And this book is written by Mr. David Crowhurst, and it is published by very famous publishing house, Weiser Books. Some of you might know this publishing house. It's not only publishing house. Weiser Books are also collectors and antiquariat of old, very famous, some of them expensive and rare occult books. So if you will search out Weiser Antiquariat or Weiser Books, you might find books like first editions of Aleister Crowley books, things that are really special, and they have quite big collector's value. Weiser Books tries to reprint some of these very old rare books, and also tries to print new books, like in case of Stellas Daemonum. But this is really someone who can print through Weiser Books must be, I would say, quite knowledgeable about the subject. So this practically implies what's the level of this book. This is more like academical study of the occult, but I think that we as practitioners should not be afraid even of difficult books, because they push us forward. They show us the real complexities and depth of the occult, that it's not just like some kind of I would call it spiritual mambo jumbo, where everything believes in their own individual experiences. No, occultism is quite a deep field with and someone who wants deeper and to understand the relationships, how and why these old occult books, why the demons are called like they are called, what are the hierarchies and so on, must go deeper. It's like that. It's I was surprised, because this book is really new. It can be acquired still on Amazon. The first edition was printed in 2021, and it's only available in hardback, and the price in euros is around 55 euros per this hardback. But you see that the quality is nice. It's solid. It contains quite a lot of information, graphics, and so on. I will show later. So the price is valid, like compared to many books that are being now printed in that are called like grimoires and things like that. They sometimes cost even more, and it's not worth the price. Yeah, but with Stellas Daemonum, you can already, if you are going to buy yourself some kind of like really this type of book, it's good to see who has written it, check a little bit about the author, and the book is printed by a very famous publishing house, and it comes with foreword of Mr. Milo Duquette. Some of you might know Mr. Duquette. He is a very famous author of the occult, mostly a specialist on the tarot. If you haven't, check his lives mostly on Facebook, where he tries to stream mostly about tarot, but about the history of tarot, symbolism, and so on. He's practically one of the leading specialist on tarot in the world. Yeah, there are. I'm not sure whether there is someone better than him, and it's a very nice person. So he's providing his first foreword, and another foreword comes from Mr. Stephen Skinner, who is a very known occult academist, Dr. Skinner, a specialist mostly in religionics, and a big fan of the occult. So also Mr. David Crowhurst is very, very knowledgeable in the book. So what is this about? This book is after the forewords of this very famous academics. Mr. Crowhurst goes right into the topic, mainly demons. The book is not grimoire per se. The book is more about understanding what the demons are, what is the cosmology of these demons, what are the rankings of the demons, where these rankings were created, how they, and then he describes in a way like of, you see the sigils already, very similarly like in Lesser Key of Solomon, each history of each demon. But it's not just few words, it's a whole chapter related to it. This book is not about individual experiences. I don't think, maybe, I am not sure whether Mr. Crowhurst is a practitioner of magic, and maybe it's for the better if he is not. Because he took all information from very original, famous sources, grimoires, like Heptameron, yeah, like Livre des Esprits, Pseudomonarchia Daemonum, Lesser Key of Solomon, Grimoirum Verum. He tries to take all of the information that is sometimes misleading, and he analyzes all of the information about the demons that we have in current times. He comes up with a theory, because there is a lot of theory here, that these hierarchies of demons were somehow mistranslated, were not translated correctly in several grimoires, and then we ended with a mishmash of information, and now people are a little bit, and everyone or many people are still confused whether there are some hierarchies of these demons or what do they represent. And I don't want to go very deep into the actual descriptions, because it's all in the book. But if you will buy this book, you will learn how these old magicians, mostly in the 15th century, started to hierarchize the Goetia demons, and starting, of course, with let's say with the entity of Lucifer. He explains that, and then trying to explain this triad of demons that is mentioned also in Livre des Esprits or in Grimoire Verum, that for example Lucifer as entity is split into two polarities, feminine and masculine, according to Grimoire Verum, for example, where feminine is Beelzebul and the masculine, the masculine is Beelzebul and the feminine is Ashtaroth, but according to some other books, it's not Ashtaroth, but it's Satan. Then he goes into the very hierarchical orders of the demons, of archdevils that are responsible for the cardinal directions of north, east, west, and south. They are named by many names. He describes them all, but we know them mostly from Lesser Key of Solomon by the name Oriens, Egin, Paimon, and Amaimon, and he describes their history, their etymology of these words, a lot of information why they are called like they are, how they even manifest according to some of these books. He compares the names with the names of Arabic magic, and also with similar, he tries to do the deconstruction of these names. So we find out, for example, that these four archangels are later on responsible or are ruling over kings of Goetia, so these known kings that we know from the Lesser Key of Solomon. And then what are these other spirits, marquises, princes, how the structure of the spirits is. But please don't be mistaken that this is some kind of individual understanding. You will find in so many books people saying to you there is that this is true, that is true. No, he just goes really deep academical. There are academical sources, there are names, he really went through the libraries. Everything what is put on paper in the 15th till the 18th century was considered and placed here. Why the book? There are several chapters, like as he says that there are these four archdevils and they are responsible for the groups of demons, and he goes through all of them, through all demons in Lesser Key of Solomon, in Heptameron. There are even demons that are like forgotten or named differently. This book contains, I think, almost 350 pages, and why it is called Stellas Daemonum is that he also compares not only he doesn't speak only about the etymology or about the names of the demons, but there are even comparisons from the astrological point of view. These demons can be invoked according to specific rules that are, for example, found out in Arabic magic called Picatrix. Picatrix is speaking in many chapters about the right stars or right constellations of planets, where and when it is best to connect with these demons. He goes really deep into it, and the book at the end contains also a specific, I would say, zodiacal chapters, specific zodiacal decans per each specific spirit. What are their name, lunar mentions, objectives, images, what are the ruling planets for each hour, and what are the demons related to it. He speaks about the seasons, when the weather conditions were according to, but it's taken really from the practice of practitioners that did this, that really knew astrology. If you want to go through it, and if you really want to follow it, you will follow the magic how it was done in the 15th, 16th century by Arabic mystics, by Renaissance magicians that were deeply knowledgeable about astrology. alchemy, about working with the spirits. They knew languages. They could identify through the name what is the character of the demon. So it was hard work. It was a science in its way, and I have to say that in many of my videos, when I try to speak about specific spirits, before I read this book, I tried to go through some similar sources, and I found I was very happy that many of my videos corresponded with these academical foundings in this book. If you go through this book, you will find answers on origin of all known demons of Goetia. You will not have to ask questions like is Beelzebul Belial, or what is Astaroth, what is Asmodeus, what are the sources of it, what is Beelzebul. It's all described here. But I have to say that Mr. Crowhurst is doing very deep scientific and academical research. And for me, and I think also for others, there are still so many questions open, because this is not definitive book on all answers. This is just what we know academically about Goetia right now. But there are so many theories, there are so many spirits, demons, that we are still not sure about the origins. Yeah, there are names like from Goetia, Andras, Bifrons, Haures. It's very difficult to sometimes analyze what they are. So it still comes with a lot of open questions. I think that although this is quite great book, it still leaves a lot of things open for us to discover. But what I like about this book is that it tries to approach occultism, Goetia, Ars Goetia, from academical point of view. It's not this mambo-jumbo subjective things that I invoked Andras, or I invoked Lucifer and he showed himself to me in this way, and that's how it is. Then I am sure he's like this. No, this book tries to explain real things. It's like a book about mathematics. There are rules, and if you don't follow them, then you are just guessing, you are just playing, and you are not an occultist. You are just a spiritual person believing in some kind of ideas of yours. Yeah. So I would say that if you go through this book thoroughly, you will find also informations, but hidden in the text, how to work or invoke this type of spirits. Look, for example, there are seals, Abramelin squares, found mostly in the book of the Abramelin or Lemegeton, where these type of squares and magical symbolics can be again used in your meditation and invocation techniques. So it's all here. Although there are no like descriptions on how to do a ritual, the author already expects that you have deep knowledge about it. This is a book about, or for people that are going deeper. I have read this book already 3 times, and I am trying to annotate it. I don't write it into the book, but this is a book that you can work with for months to come, and you might find your own answers. You might find differences there, but this book helps you in a deep occult goetic practice. Learning from this, I have learned that the demons are many times representations of they are our internal thought forms. And the names of the demons sometimes represent their hidden characters. They are not like, they are real and they are not real. They are powerful symbols of our mind. And it is really beneficial to approach this book if you are feeling that you are a little bit lost in it, or you want to avoid the fanaticism of so many practitioners that just do some kind of magic, invoking spirits and living in their own fantasies that they are speaking with something, and they create their own ideas around these symbols and names. It will deepen your understanding. So I give this book definitely 5 stars. This is 5 stars. It's absolute gem for the price. Friends, I have already recommended this book also to my students on Patreon. Some of them already read it and they say that it's priceless. And so I hope you like the review. Please order the book if you are up to some more complicated reading, and order it now, because it will probably run out from the first printing and you want to have the first edition. So thank you very much. Leave your comments about the book. This is a perfect book. It's I think the best on the market about the history of demons, what we have so far. Thank you very much, and have a great day.